So that's the energy that we strive to show up in every single day, even when it's tough, even when days when my visual diagnosis is very real and very apparent, because as someone who is not fully blind, but actively going blind, it is something that I deal with every single day. And as my condition progresses, I will get colorblind, and eventually it will all fade to black. But guess what? We got some time in between now and then, so we're gonna show up every single day until this curtain closes and serve. Serve for the ancestors, serve for our families, serve for the kiddos coming, serve for community. And that is what has propelled me to start Artful Accessibility. I come in contact with so many people of all abilities who say, I want to do the thing, but I am afraid. And I always tell them, don't try to get rid of fear. Fear sometimes keeps you alive. It's the whole situation when the train is coming and it's like, don't go, right? Fear has its place. Tell fear to get in the back seat, or better yet, get in the trunk and learn to live with fear. Like, you know, you may hear cries from the trunk every now and then. That's not weird at all. Determine that you're gonna drive the vehicle, you're gonna write your narrative, and you are gonna ensure that the next level, the next extension of your experience is one that's gonna be so much more beautiful than you could ever had capacity to dream of. Doing shows across the country has reminded me of two very important things. The first thing is, most people are not aware of what accessibility actually is. I meet people all the time who say, oh, that's like DEI, that's like diversity and equity. I'm like, yeah, but no, they're cousins. It's not the same thing. And accessibility, specifically in this sense, what we're starting with to focus on through Artful Accessibility is the importance of allowing people who are navigating physical disabilities to fully experience the arts. Why are we starting with the arts? Because that's our lane, that's our industry. And we hope to grow beyond the arts in the years to come. I knew that this was apparent because there were so many people coming to me, bringing me tidbits and stories and all these experiences. And I said, you know what? If these things keep coming to me, much like the inspiration for my work, I'm supposed to do something with this. You ever had a season where you are dreaming of something, and then you'll see something, and then you'll get a flat, and they'll see the thing again, and then you fix the flat and go to lunch with a friend, and they'll say, hey, da-da-da-da-da, and you're like, oh my God, what a coincidence. It's not. You're supposed to do something with it. And oftentimes we romanticize that. We think we're only supposed to act when we get good news and have good opportunities. Guess what? If you're creative and you're tapped in, I happen to think that you're supposed to do something with the heavy stuff, because your art is a platform and an opportunity to create awareness, to build community, and to leave things better than when you found them. And after countless years of doing shows and people not having large print or reflective tape so you won't roll to your death and plummet, or restrooms are accessible, I decided, rather than just gently asking, that I would develop a program that encouraged businesses to come to the awareness of how feasible it is to become more accessible. Because it is. And because if you start with accessibility during the design process, during the planning process, in your staff meetings, in your hiring process, then it doesn't feel like an afterthought because it's a part of the process. So we do this in 3 ways through Artful Accessibility. We are based here in Denver. It's a division of Duplessis Art. We meet with organizations who say, hey, we're super busy and overwhelmed. We want to do the thing, but we don't know how to do the thing, nor do we have the capacity or extra staff members. And we're like, hey, what's up? We're over here. We want to help you do the thing. That's the first step. We come in, we'll do an accessibility assessment, ask you questions, and give you an internal report to help you leverage for funding, for community building, and for planning moving forward. There you go. If you say, oh, we want to go a step further and develop an accessibility statement or policy or plan, but we don't have the capacity to do it right now, but we can meet with you and give you feedback and information. Then we're over here like, that's great. We'll come and meet with you and develop a plan over the next 2 months so you'll actually have that. And then maybe you're good, right? Well, what if you say, you know, we got this plan, we're ahead of the game, we got a policy, but we're like kind of burnout on all this accessibility talk, and like we need to be reinvigorated. Well, that's where me and my team will say, guess what? We do cool arts-based retreats quarterly and annually, where we come in with drums and paint and music and blocks And we talk about case studies and new legislation and all the cool things going on in accessibility. And by the time that you finish, after you've eaten that taco, you won't even remember that it was a professional development workshop. Because how many times have we been invited to professional development workshops and we were like, oh, that's the day I'm calling in sick. So those are the core ways that we work with people to do so. It is a labor of love. Oddly enough, the past 20 years of my career, I was almost always the person who was liaison to the disabled community, never knowing it would be my fate. So sometimes you're kind of lined up for these things. So whether I was working in the mayor's office or higher education or in the community, I've always been disability adjacent. And now I am rooted in this thing and committed to doing this work and collaborating with amazing partners of all abilities. So if we can support your efforts, please let us know. And it's been an honor to share with you this afternoon. Thank you all so much.